Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be diving into Meditate and Manifest, Mindfulness for Wealth Attraction.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you guys sent us some excerpts, and honestly, the premise is, well, it's a little out there. It's suggesting we can use mindfulness and meditation to attract wealth.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to kind of dig into this and see if there's any substance to these claims or if it's just a lot of, wishful thinking.
Yeah, it definitely challenges our typical thinking about like personal finance.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the whole core idea of this book is that there's this like connection between our mindset and our actual financial reality. And that we can like manifest wealth, they say, through meditation.
Yeah, that's the part that makes me kind of like raise an eyebrow a little bit.
Right?
I mean, I get that meditation can be helpful for like stress and focus and things like that, but
Yeah.
can it really like influence our bank accounts? I mean, is that really a thing?
Well, the book really digs into the psychology behind this.
Right.
The idea is that our negative thought patterns,
Mm-hmm.
like if we're constantly, thinking about scarcity or feeling like we're unworthy of wealth or whatever,
Yeah.
that can become like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Hmm.
And it can actually sabotage our financial efforts.
So it's almost like we're like unconsciously blocking abundance from like coming in.
Precisely. Yeah. And meditate and manifest is suggesting that we can use meditation to kind of cultivate what it calls an abundance mindset, essentially rewiring our brain,
Okay.
shifting from, that fear and scarcity to a state of openness and possibility.
Okay, so less about like mystical chanting and more about like practical neural rewiring.
Exactly.
So what does the book say about like the science behind all of this?
Well, it actually does ground itself in scientific evidence.
Yeah.
It points to like neuroscience studies that have shown the positive impacts of meditation on the brain.
Okay.
For instance, meditation has been proven to reduce stress, which is huge, when it comes to finances.
Yeah, totally. I mean, because when we're stressed out, we're way more likely to make those like impulsive choices or maybe overspend or even just like avoid dealing with our finances altogether.
Exactly. Yeah, avoidance is a big one.
Yeah.
And meditation can also like enhance our focus and our emotional regulation, which are both crucial for making those sound financial choices or sticking to a budget or even identifying like lucrative opportunities.
Yeah, it makes you wonder like how differently would you approach your own finances? If you were coming from a place of calm clarity instead of that like frantic, I don't have enough feeling.
It's a powerful question. And it leads us to like the heart of what meditate and manifest is proposing, which is this step-by-step guide to using meditation for, wealth attraction.
Okay, so let's break down this guide. Like, what's the first step? What do we do?
Well, the foundation is setting those really clear intentions.
Okay.
The book says it's not enough to just like vaguely wish for more money.
Yeah.
You need to define what financial abundance actually means for you specifically. Like, how much do you want to attract? What are you going to do with it? How would it change your life? How would it change the lives of, people around you?
So it sounds like it's all about painting a really detailed picture of like your financial goals, almost like creating a blueprint for like your dream life.
Exactly. And that leads us to the next step, which is visualization.
Okay.
The book really emphasizes a technique called visualization meditation, where you create this really vivid image in your mind of yourself already living in that financial abundance.
So it's not just like picturing yourself winning the lottery. It's more about feeling what it would be like to actually have achieved those goals.
Exactly. You're not just seeing it. You're engaging all your senses. You're feeling the emotions, the joy, the freedom that comes with, financial security. And the book argues that the more vivid and emotionally charged that visualization is, the more effectively it can program your subconscious mind to like attract those outcomes.
Interesting. So it's almost like giving your brain a taste of the destination so it knows where to steer you.
That's a great analogy, yeah. It's about aligning your subconscious with your conscious desires, creating that powerful force for manifestation.
Okay, so we've got clear intentions, we've got vivid visualization. What other tools does this like wealth attraction toolkit include?
Well, affirmations and mantras play a big role.
Okay.
The book provides a whole bunch of positive statements that are designed to like reprogram your subconscious beliefs about money.
Okay.
Things like I am a money magnet or wealth flows to me effortlessly.
Hmm.
And the idea is that by repeating these phrases, especially while you're meditating, you can gradually shift those deeply ingrained beliefs about money that might be holding you back.
So it's like planting seeds of abundance in your mind and then nurturing them with repetition and belief. But
Exactly.
I mean, some people might be rolling their eyes at this point, right? Like, come on, is this really going to work? So how does the book address that skepticism around affirmations?
Well, it acknowledges that, simply repeating phrases isn't going to magically fill your bank account.
Right.
The key is to combine those affirmations with deep, conscious breathing,
Okay.
which calms the nervous system and makes you more receptive to those positive suggestions, allowing them to kind of penetrate deeper into the subconscious.
So it's about creating the right, like, internal environment for those affirmations to take root?
Exactly. And then the book kind of takes this really interesting turn,
Okay.
and it suggests we bring mindfulness into our everyday financial decisions.
Mindfulness. Okay, now that's a concept that I usually associate with, being present and aware in the moment,
Wow.
not necessarily with managing money. So how does that fit in?
Well, that's exactly where Meditate and Manifest gets pretty clever.
Okay.
The book argues that mindfulness, with its focus on cultivating awareness, can actually be applied to our financial lives in really powerful ways.
Okay.
So, for example, it suggests pausing before you make a purchase
Oh.
and asking yourself, do I actually need this? Or does this align with my financial goals?
Mm.
It's about becoming like the CEO of your own financial life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Making those conscious choices instead of just reacting out of habit or emotion.
Yeah, so instead of just like mindlessly swiping your credit card, you're taking a moment to like check in with your intentions and your goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The book also emphasizes the importance of gratitude journaling, where you really focus on the financial blessings you already have.
Mm.
And this helps shift you out of that scarcity mindset and into a state of appreciation for what you already possess.
Yeah.
So you create this more fertile ground for abundance to grow.
Okay, I can see how that would tie in with like the whole abundance mindset idea. But what about those times when the scarcity feeling like creeps in? That never enough feeling that seems to plague so many of us.
Yeah, that's where Meditate and Manifest introduces this really fascinating technique, loving kindness meditation, which is often used to cultivate compassion and empathy towards others.
Right. I've heard of that, but I usually associate it with like sending good vibes to like friends and family, not necessarily to my bank account.
Right, and that's what makes the book's approach, I think, so unique. It suggests that we can direct that same loving kindness towards our own financial well-being. So instead of fearing money or feeling resentful towards it, we're encouraged to embrace it with warmth and appreciation.
So it's like sending positive energy toward your financial situation, or it's
What-
like making peace with money and seeing it as a tool that can support your dreams.
Precisely, yeah. It's about shifting your energy from lack to abundance, from fear to gratitude.
Yeah.
And when you approach money from that place of peace and appreciation, it can fundamentally change your relationship with it and open you up to new possibilities and opportunities.
Okay, so we've got intention setting, visualization, affirmations, mindful spending, and even like sending loving kindness vibes to our finances. That's a pretty comprehensive approach. But how does all of this actually translate into like real world financial success?
Right. Well, that's where the book makes this really crucial distinction. Meditation isn't a magic wand.
Okay.
You can't just meditate your way to wealth without taking any concrete action.
No, but it's not like you just sit on a cushion and money magically appears in your account.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about combining that inner work with outer action.
Okay.
Meditate Manifest calls this inspired action, meaning you're taking steps aligned with your goals.
Okay.
Steps that, feel good and authentic, not just grinding away out of obligation.
Hmm.
It encourages us to, stay open to opportunities, to learn about personal finance, to make smart money moves that align with, our vision of abundance.
So meditation sets the stage, and then
Yeah.
you have to like step onto that stage and perform.
I love that analogy. Yeah, it's this really powerful partnership, inner transformation, coupled with that strategic action.
Now, thinking about everything we've discussed so far, like what's one action step that you could take toward your own financial goals that, feels inspired by this deep dive into wealth attraction meditation?
Hmm. That's a great question. I mean, it could be something as simple as committing to tracking your spending for a week,
Okay.
or setting up a budget. Or maybe it's something bigger, like like researching some investment opportunities or exploring a new career path that's, aligned with your passions and your financial goals.
Yeah, the key is to like find that sweet spot where your inner work and your outer actions are, working in harmony.
Precisely. And that's where the real magic unfolds.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground exploring the core steps in Meditate and Manifest, but something that really stood out to me was the book's emphasis on tackling the, scarcity mindset so many of us struggle with. Like,
Yeah.
how does it suggest we break free from that feeling of never enough?
Well, that's a common hurdle,
Yeah.
and one that the book addresses head on, actually.
Okay.
It proposes a kind of unexpected solution,
Okay.
applying loving kindness meditation, a technique often associated with cultivating compassion for others
Hmm.
to our financial well-being.
Now, that's an interesting twist.
Right.
I've always thought of loving kindness meditation as like, sending good vibes to like loved ones or even strangers.
Right.
But how do you direct that same energy toward, well, money?
Yeah, that's the brilliance of the book's approach, I think.
Okay.
It suggests that instead of, fearing or resenting money, we can actually choose to embrace it with that same warmth and acceptance that we extend to others. Imagine sending those positive vibes, that feeling of warmth and abundance, directly toward your financial situation.
So it's like giving your finances a mental hug.
You could say that, yeah.
Okay.
The idea is to shift our energy from a place of, lack and fear to a place of gratitude and appreciation. It's about cultivating a sense of abundance, not just in our thoughts, but in our feelings toward money as well.
Okay. I can see how that could be a powerful mindset shift.
Yeah.
But wouldn't like focusing solely on an abundance mindset without actually taking any concrete action, wouldn't that just lead to complacency?
That's a really valid concern.
Yeah.
And one that the book addresses, very directly. It emphasizes that meditation is not a magic bullet.
Right.
It's not about simply wishing for wealth to appear.
Okay.
It's about aligning our inner world with our outer goals, creating a more fertile ground for financial growth.
So it's about, taking concrete steps, not just sitting back and waiting for abundance to fall in our lap.
Exactly. Meditate and Manifest stresses the importance of what it calls inspired action.
Okay.
So taking steps that are aligned with our goals and that feel good, not just grinding away out of obligation. It's about combining that inner work of cultivating an abundance mindset with the outer work of making, smart financial choices.
So it's like meditation lays the foundation, but we still have to build the house.
That's a great analogy, yeah.
Okay.
It's this dynamic interplay between inner transformation and, strategic action.
Okay, I'm starting to get a clearer picture of this approach.
Good.
But some of the additional tips the book offers, they're still throwing me off a bit. Like using wealth-related symbols during meditation.
Right.
Does that really have any like practical value?
Well, it might seem a little unconventional.
Yeah.
But the book argues that having a tangible representation of your goals can be surprisingly effective.
Okay.
It's about like creating a visual reminder that keeps your financial aspirations, front and center, especially during your meditation practice.
So it's less about like the object itself and more about the focus and intention it brings to your practice.
Precisely. Yeah. I mean, it could be a gold coin, a crystal, a picture of your dream home. Anything that, personally symbolizes abundance and prosperity for you. The key is to choose something that evokes positive emotions and like reinforces your commitment to those financial goals.
It's almost like choosing a talisman for your financial journey, but instead of relying on like luck, you're using it as a tool to focus your mind and energy.
I like that way of putting it, yeah.
Okay.
And that ties in nicely with another additional tip the book offers.
Okay.
Surrounding yourself with positive energy.
Okay, that one feels a little harder to grasp.
Yeah.
How do you practically incorporate that into like your daily life?
Well, it's actually more attainable than you might think.
Okay.
It could be as simple as, listening to uplifting music while you work,
Yeah.
or reading inspiring books or articles about, financial success,
Mm-hmm.
or even, curating your social media feeds so that you're following accounts that promote like financial well-being.
So it's about being mindful of the information you consume and the environment you create for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. It's about consciously choosing to surround yourself with like messages and influences that support your financial goals,
Right.
rather than, those that reinforce negativity or scarcity.
That makes sense. It's like creating a force field of positivity around your financial aspirations.
I love that analogy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about creating an environment that, nurtures your growth and prosperity. But there's one additional tip that I think is particularly important to address.
Okay.
And that's the idea of trust and surrender.
Surrender. Okay, doesn't that sound a bit passive?
Yeah.
Like just giving up and letting fate take over?
Not at all.
Okay.
Meditate and Manifest emphasizes that surrender is not about relinquishing control,
Okay.
but rather about releasing the need to micromanage every aspect of our financial journey.
Okay.
It's about trusting that when we've, done the inner work, set those clear intentions, we're taking, inspired action, the universe will support us in ways we may not even be able to imagine.
So it's about having faith that things will work out even if we can't see the entire path laid out before us.
Precisely. Yeah, it's about letting go of the struggle, embracing the journey, knowing that when we're aligned with our purpose and taking inspired action, abundance will flow into our lives in its own time and in its own way.
Okay, so we've explored the core principles of meditate and manifest, and even poked at some of the more unconventional tips, like surrounding yourself with symbols of wealth. But something we haven't touched on yet is the potential downside of focusing so intently on attracting wealth. Could there be unintended consequences?
That's a really perceptive question.
Yeah.
And it's wise to consider the potential, pitfalls here. The pursuit of wealth, even through, mindful means, can sometimes lead to a kind of tunnel vision. We might become so fixated on those financial goals that other vital areas of life, our relationships, our health, or even our sense of purpose kind of start to fall by the wayside.
It's like that saying, be careful what you wish for, you might just get it. You achieve financial abundance, but at what cost?
Exactly. And that's why Meditate and Manifest stresses that wealth is just one piece of the abundance puzzle.
Okay.
True abundance encompasses all areas of our lives. It's about cultivating a sense of wholeness and balance, not just chasing, dollar signs.
So it's not about trading one form of lack for another,
Right.
Swapping financial scarcity for, say, a scarcity of meaningful connections or personal fulfillment.
Precisely. Yeah. The book encourages us to, align our financial goals with our values and our overall vision for a fulfilling life. It reminds us that, money is a tool, a resource that can help us create the life we desire.
Right.
But it shouldn't become the sole focus of our existence.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's about keeping things in perspective, right?
Yeah.
Using the tools of meditation and mindfulness to create a life of abundance in all its dimensions.
Yeah, guy.
Not just financial wealth.
And I think that's one of the book's most valuable contributions, honestly.
Yeah.
It reframes that whole concept of, wealth attraction.
Okay.
Shifting it from this purely materialistic pursuit
Yeah.
to a more holistic approach to living a rich and meaningful life.
So to wrap things up, what are the key takeaways you hope our listener will glean from this deep dive into meditate and manifest? What's the essence of what we've uncovered here?
Well, I think the most crucial takeaway is that while the idea of, manifesting wealth through meditation might seem a bit out there at first glance,
Yeah.
the underlying principles are actually grounded in, solid psychology
Okay.
and time-tested wisdom. It's not about magic.
Right.
It's about understanding the power of our thoughts and beliefs
Yeah.
in shaping our reality.
It's about becoming the conscious architects of our own lives, including our financial lives.
Exactly. And Meditate and Manifest provides this really practical framework for doing just that. It offers a set of tools and techniques from, setting clear intentions to practicing visualization to cultivating that abundance mindset that, anyone can use to start creating a more abundant and fulfilling life.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating exploration, to say the least. And I have to say, I'm walking away with a renewed appreciation for the power of our minds to shape our reality.
I'm glad to hear that. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
There will be ups and downs, moments of doubt, and times when those old scarcity patterns resurface.
Right.
But the key is to, keep practicing, to keep trusting, and to keep believing in your power to create the life you desire.
Wonderful words to end on. Thank you for guiding us through this deep dive.
You're welcome.
And to you, our listener, we encourage you to, continue exploring these ideas, put them into practice, experiment, see what works for you, and most importantly, trust in your own ability to create a life of abundance in all its, beautiful dimensions.
Until next time, stay curious, stay mindful, and stay abundant.